got another computer tip for you today, and today we're going to look at how to make a very simple Excel graph, and then how to embed that or put that into a Google Doc. Excel, many things you can do with Excel, but today I'm just going to show you how to do a very basic graph, and there's a lot of other functions you can use with this, and you'll have to probably just play around with it and discover those as we go along this year. So we want to make a graph, and let's say we got a set of data, and this is going to be uh, two sets of data. One's going to go on the x-axis and the other one's going to go on the y-axis. So I'm just going to put some data in here in column B, and let's just go 10, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oops, 21. We just want 1 there. So this is going to be the x-axis, and we might as well, I guess we'll make a y-axis. We'll go 8, 5, 3, 2, I guess we can go 1 with that. So now we got our x-axis is here and our y-axis is here, and so we want to graph these two sets of data. So we can highlight the B and the C, and that is highlighted, and let's go to insert. Well, once we click on insert, you can see you can insert many different things, but we're going to look at the chart. You can do a column, there's a line, there's a pie, there's bar, there's area, there's scatter, there's other charts you can look at. The one we're going to look at today, and you'll use, I'm going to say much of the time, maybe not most of the time, but much of the time, is a scatter, also known as an XY. So let's click on that. And in this particular one, for our scatter chart, and you can see you've got different things you can do here. Compare. Use it when there are a few data points in x-axis order and the data represents a function. Now let's see what this one looks like. So if we click on that, there is our graph. So at 10, we should have a y value of 8. And sure enough, at 10, we have a y value of 8. And then at 1, we should have 1, and it looks like 1, we have 1. So this is a pretty good line graph. Now there's a couple things that we should always have on a graph, and that is a title, and we should label and have our units on the x-axis, and label and have our units on the y-axis. So let's go to layout. Oh, and by the way, if you look at these, you can change the color of your lines. There's all sorts of things you can do, and it's just going to take some playing around if you really want to get into this. So we'll go to layout, and let's go, and we get a whole bunch of different drop down boxes here. And the two we're going to look at right now, we're going to look at chart title, and none, center overlay over title. Let's see, let's try the above the chart, and you can see the chart title is here, and we're just going to call this one example. Now when you start typing, it's going to start typing up in this line here. So example, example, and then when you hit enter, what you typed here shows up in the box. And again, you can see you can make this bigger or smaller by dragging on the corners. Same thing with the graph. You can make the graph bigger or smaller. You can make it wider, make it longer by grabbing on the corners. Alright, we got to get our axes in. So chart title, let's go to axis titles. So we can click on that, primary horizontal axis, and let's put title below the axis. And you can see it shows up a box here. So let's just call this time in seconds. Again, we got our label, and then we got our unit. So we'll hit enter, and there is our label and our unit. Well, if we got our x-axis, we got to do our y. So let's go to this one, primary vertical axis. Oh, let's see, vertical, horizontal, resize chart. Let's just do it on a vertical title. And you can see it's a vertical title here. And so let's call this one distance in meters, and hit enter. And there it is, distance in meters. So now we created our graph. Well, what we want to do with this graph, we want to import it or put it into a Google Doc. So we can go to, once you kind of click out of it, and you see you got a nice little box here and very nice little graph. If you click on the inside somewhere, we can go to copy. From here we can go into our Google Drive, and here's my drive here, and let's go to create. Now I'm just going to embed this into a document. Click on document, and remember we always title our document, so we're going to use this example graph, and so we titled that, and so we got the cursor here, and we want to paste that graph into a Google Doc. Well, Google, you've got to use control keys, and the control key for paste is Control V, and lo and behold, it is there. You just can't right click and do paste. It just doesn't work in Google, so you gotta use Control V. And it looks like I've got my graph embedded in here. So and that's how you do that. So that's just a short little note how to do that, and you'll have an example or a chance to do that in class. All right, we'll catch you next time.